Taylor Swift's story is one of fearless ambition, heartbreak, and reinvention that changed modern music forever. Born on December 13, 1989, in the quiet town of Reading, Pennsylvania, Taylor Allison Swift grew up with a heart full of songs before she even knew what fame meant. While other kids spent afternoons at the mall, Taylor spent hers writing poems, learning guitar chords, performing anywhere that would let her sing. At 11, she sang the national anthem at a Philadelphia 76ers game. At 12, she wrote her first song after a computer technician taught her 3 chords. Her parents saw that spark and made a life-changing decision. They moved to Nashville, the capital of country music, so their daughter could chase a dream that seemed impossible. But the road to success was not a fairy tale. Label after label rejected her demos, calling her songs too personal, too emotional, too young. Yet, with every no, she only wrote more, pouring her feelings of teenage confusion, love, and hope into notebooks that would later become platinum records. When she finally signed with Big Machine Records at 14, Taylor became the youngest songwriter ever hired by Sony TV. And her debut single, Tim McGraw, in 2006, introduced a fresh, fearless voice to country music. Her self-titled album and follow-up Fearless transformed her from a talented teenager into a global sensation. Songs like Love Story and You Belong With Me didn't just top charts. They defined a generation that believed in fairy tales and heartbreaks all at once. But behind the glitter and Grammys, Taylor was already planning her next move. She knew that to grow, she had to evolve. And with Red, she took her first brave step into pop territory. The album's mix of heartbreak and maturity, especially All Too Well, revealed a songwriter who could turn pain into poetry. Then came 1989, the record that changed everything, A Bold. It's a synth-pop masterpiece that reinvented her image, broke streaming records, and won Album of the Year at the Grammys. Overnight, Taylor Swift wasn't just America's sweetheart. She was the queen of global pop. But fame brings storms. The spotlight that had once celebrated her started to turn harsh. Public feuds, online hate, and endless tabloid headlines painted her as everything from manipulative to fake. In 2016, after the now infamous Kanye West incident, the internet called for her to disappear, and she did. For nearly a year, Taylor went silent, avoiding interviews and social media, rebuilding herself in private. When she returned, she didn't apologize. She roared back with Reputation, a dark, powerful album that declared, "The old Taylor can't come to the phone right now." Why? Because she's dead. It was a rebirth, proving that even when the world turns against you, you can still own your narrative. Then, in 2019, Taylor entered her most creative era yet. With Lover, she brought color and hope back into her world, celebrating love in all forms. But just as her career soared, another storm hit. She discovered that her first 6 albums had been sold without her consent. Instead of breaking down, Taylor made history again by re-recording all her old music as Taylor's version, claiming ownership of every lyric she ever wrote. The move changed the music industry forever, inspiring countless artists to fight for their rights. During the pandemic, she released Folklore and Evermore, albums filled with storytelling so poetic that critics compared her to classic novelists. Each song painted a cinematic world of characters, heartbreaks and daydreams, showing that Taylor Swift was no longer just a pop star. She was a storyteller of her generation. Then came Midnights and The Tortured Poets Department, records that captured her reflections on fame, loneliness, and growth as a woman in the spotlight. By 2025, Taylor Swift isn't just an artist. She's a cultural movement, a billionaire whose influence stretches from fashion to film, from politics to philanthropy. Eras Tour became the highest-grossing concert tour of all time. It's filling stadiums across continents and proving that connection with fans can outlast any trend. Through it all, she's remained grounded, writing songs that feel like diary entries, speaking to fans who see their own stories in her words. She's donated millions to education and disaster relief, stood up for artists' rights, and encouraged kindness and confidence through every speech and performance. Taylor Swift's journey teaches one timeless truth. Success is not about being perfect, it's about being real. From the little girl strumming a guitar in Pennsylvania to the woman commanding stages across the globe, Taylor's evolution is a reminder that dreams demand persistence. Heartbreak can fuel greatness, and reinvention is the secret to survival. Whether she's standing on a glittering stage or quietly writing at midnight, Taylor Swift continues to prove that the most powerful instrument in the world isn't fame or money, it's a fearless heart that refuses to stop singing.